Hello everyone, my name is Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. Harvest Beard is coming along nicely. I'm a little afraid what it's going to look like at the end of harvest because we just started shelling corn. But today we are finishing up the 40 out here. So we've got everything done out here except for this little triangle piece and what is back in the break-in back there, as we like to call it. And it's yielding better than what we thought it would be. This is probably one of the better producing years for this field. So we're getting kind of interested to see what the rest of the farms will do. And I'm getting interested to see what my 30-acre cornfield's going to be doing that's in the yield contest. But anyway, Travis just told me that the 10,000 bushel bin at the main farm is just about full. So either the next time Travis comes down or the time after that, we're probably going to have to go up there together. And I'm going to have to help him move the auger from the 10,000 bushel bin over to the 20,000 bushel bin so that we can keep harvesting. Our goal is that by this weekend to have both of those bins full. That's our goal. And for how fast the first bin filled up, I feel like that's going to be pretty easy to reach. So once he's done up here, he's going to head back there, and I'm not totally sure where we're going to head this afternoon once he's done with the break-in. Thinking we might go up either up front or straight across over here and to what is straight back at Travis's place. And I really like having Travis's place done. I'm glad we started on it first because to me, it just seems like one of the slowest places to do. And so far, I think it might be just because we just started corn harvesting, that it seems like it's flying right by. And that's pretty unusual. I mean, it's yielding better than what it usually does, so I don't know. All I know is that we're pretty satisfied with how these fields are yielding so far. So once Travis is ready, we're gonna go up there and we are going to switch the auger around. So we're about to unload on the go. It's a shorter run, so we can't do it for as long up here, but the ground is straight and it doesn't really have too many dips. There was one spot down here we were unloading on the go, and I was a little bit concerned because the combine went into a hole on the front right side and the auger came down and it got a little too close for comfort to the grain cart. So that's one thing about Travis's place, is that it's notorious for sinkholes. Just up on top of the hill here, about behind Dad actually, the neighbor said that they have 2 large sinkholes that he said he could fit 2 of his truck in. So we haven't seen any large holes like that show up in the fields recently. The last big one we had like that was in 2008 when we had a bunch of rain, and that was up on top of the hill up here. Travis actually yesterday had 2 sinkholes open up, and I want to get shots of them, but maybe one of the times I'll up there I'll show you guys. But he was pulling the wagon, and the first time the front left tractor tire went in a hole, and a sinkhole that just showed up, and it's the size of the tractor tire. And then the second time, which I think is the bigger hole, was the grain wagon. The back left tire sunk down in, and he pulled it out of it. But it's kind of scary because those sinkholes can just open up randomly like that, and it's not really something that you want to have happen when you have a full load of grain on. So here we are unloading on the go. So with my grain cart, it can actually hold 2 combine dumps, and the grain wagon that Travis is pulling can hold just under 2 combine dumps, which means that my grain cart holds just a little bit more every time we unload than what Travis can take. it worked out pretty slick yesterday. It got to the point yesterday where, okay, I was on the full side for the majority of the night, but Dad will fill me up the first time. Travis takes a load, and then there's a little bit left over in the grain cart. So as the day goes on, there's more and more that builds up in the grain cart. So yeah, I get a little bit further ahead of Dad, and then we start to bog down. But it works pretty slick because it keeps Travis moving, and we're always moving grain. The problem that we used to have with harvesting corn is that the combine would always be stopped. And with what we've been doing the last 3 years now, starting last year especially with this one, is that we are able to keep the combine moving more, and we're able to delay how long it takes for the combine to stop, because I have a full load and then I'm waiting on Travis. So, but usually that doesn't happen until later in the day. But seems to work out pretty slick. It's just how we do it. And yeah, sure, we could get a truck, but however, there are some places that the 7600 can go that a truck can't. So waiting on dump 2 from Dad. Wow. Well, you didn't get to see my panic. This is one of those sinkholes that I was telling you about. It sunk when I drove over it with the tractor tire. That is one of the very good reasons why, whenever we're working out at the 40 or just in general down at Travis's place, either in the 40 or this straight back, there's a very good reason why we don't work until too late at night. And because of that reason, it's very, very difficult to see sinkholes in the dark. The tractors just don't light them up very well. And I mean, I think back, Grandpa ran into a sinkhole one time on this farm, right up on top of the hill over there actually, with his 4230, and it broke the wheel off. So that was a kind of a deeper sinkhole, but if Dad had gotten his tire in there, it probably wouldn't have been very good because the head would have settled on the ground. But yeah. Really? Yeah, there used to be a pretty big one right out in the middle of this field. We've since filled it, but this was a wet year, so they tend to sink during wet years. So I'm headed back to the buildings now with the last grain cart full of corn that will fit in the 10,000 bushel grain bin. So I consulted Dad over the radio. Now, if the yield monitor is 100% correct, I worked out a few figures that I think a few of you might find interesting. So far, what we've put into the 10,000 bushel grain bin, according to the yield monitor, is 7,091 dry bushels. So these bushels are wet, so that's moisture compensated. The bin might be getting kind of full, but as we dry it down with the bin dryer, what'll happen is that the corn will start to shrink because it's losing all that moisture. And it's kind of cool to look at if you look at the ring of corn, because as you fill it up, there'll be corn that sticks to the outside ring of the bin, and you can see where it was. Then after it's been drying, you can see where it is now, and it's pretty cool to see how much it's shrunk. But we got 7,091 bushels in the bin right now of actual dry corn, and that equates to 433,472 pounds in that little grain bin. So I've done the math, and the 8235R weighs 30,000 pounds. So that bin is holding 216 tons of corn. If I were to take 400, I gotta do the math right now because I didn't do it ahead of time right here. So if I took 433,472, that's how much weight in corn that the bin is holding, and I divide it by the weight of one of these tractors that I'm sitting in. It's roughly 30,000 pounds. So that 10,000 bushel grain bin is holding, according to the yield monitor, the weight of 14 John Deere 8235R tractors. 14! I'm gonna do that again just to make sure that I didn't mess up. But I used 30,000 because this tractor has all the wheels on it and whatever else. So yeah, 14.4 8235R tractors are sitting in that grain bin right now. Just thought that'd be a kind of cool statistic that I'd share with you guys. So I gotta fill Travis up now. He's sitting here waiting for me to finish talking to the camera. We're gonna head up there either now, or he said that he should be able to fit this one in. So I gotta help him put the auger, switch the auger around. All right, time to switch the bin over. I gotta crawl on top and open up the doors and guide him in. There's the spreader in the new bin. Kind of windy. The wind's blowing it that way more than anything. Up. Good. That's the thing, it maxes out this auger, so it always feels like the auger's trying to tip. It always feels like it's gonna blow that way. It scares the daylights out of you, because when the wheels hit a mound on the ground, the auger swings like 3 foot. There, now at least with the chain on it, we don't have to worry about the thing flopping over. Beautiful day, at least. Really windy. all done out at the 40. We are probably gonna head either to the front or the back. I'm not totally sure where he wants to start at, but I think the yield here was around 194 in this field, which was really good compared to what it usually is. In past years, I remember it being like 175 or lower, so it's pretty good. But we're gonna just keep on trucking, or keep on farming, I should say. Here's the sinkhole that the back tire of the grain wagon went through. I'm gonna be brave enough to step in it. But this sinkhole probably is bigger than where I'm standing, and it might even go back underneath the tractor some. So it's one of those things you gotta watch out for. But sometimes when they collapse, they'll collapse not just straight down. Sometimes, you know, it's collapsed elsewhere, and then you'll run a tractor through, and then you look back and down underneath the sinkhole, and you can see like 10 to 20 feet back in. That's what was the case with that one back there. You could look down in it and you could see back underground, which is kind of freaky. But that's all because of the lead mines that are starting to collapse because they're old age, and over time they just start to collapse and we get sinkholes. So I follow Dad and see where he went. Well, it's 8:05 and we're calling her quits. We got the 2 upper strips here in the front at Travis's place done, and we're gonna pick back up again in the morning. Maybe it's just the wagon, or I don't know what it is, but for how much the yield monitor is saying that it's yielding, to me it just really seems like Travis's place is flying by. And it might be because maybe Travis is making fewer trips or what, but it's going really smoothly and Dad is hardly stopping at all. So I think this corn harvest is gonna go pretty smooth. But I think I'm gonna call it quits for this video now. I gotta get all my stuff together and head for the car and go back up to the farm. So I will be attending the National Farm Toy Show in Dyersville, Iowa, November 4th, which is, by the time this video comes out, it might be about 2 weeks from now. So on Saturday, November 4th, I will be at the Toy Farm Show in Dyersville, and I will have a booth set up for the majority of the day. And then later that night, I am going to be speaking at a dinner in front of like 100 people or so. So go to look up National Toy Farm Show online, and if you're interested in going or interested in attending the event, I either should have or I will share the details of the dinner. If you're interested in hearing me speak, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the How Farms Work channel, talk about our farm, what we do, and just kind of, you know, what I had pictured How Farms Work to be and what it is now, and just kind of touch bases. And I'm gonna have a presentation with the PowerPoint and the whole 9 yards. So it's gonna be my first speaking event. I'll admit I am a little bit nervous, but you know, people keep telling me that I should start getting into speaking more, because they say that, like at the farm day, people said that just hearing me talk, and it was really good. That they thought it was really good, or that I have some words of advice, I guess. So anyway, yeah, I think that's about it. If you're interested in any How Farms Work clothing, go to our website, howfarmswork.com, and I will be selling clothing at the Farm Toy Show as well. You can probably pick them up cheaper there, and you can save yourself on shipping. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all How Farms Work, and I will see you next time.